Hello, I am Reverend Dr. Namches. In this video, we will learn how to code images into our website. We will learn the IMG tag, the image tag, and its attributes. In HTML, images adds visual to the website, and images can also be used to communicate information to the users. But before we continue with this lesson, if you are joining a web design or HTML class for the first time, I would advise you to check the first video in this series or search the first video in this series that says your first step in developing a website page. Your first step in developing a website page. There, you will learn how to arrange your files in your root folders and your folders, and it will serve as a foundation before you delve into the current topic of the IMG tag and its attributes. So quickly, we move to the topic of the day, the image, website images. That's the IMG tag and its attribute. We have stated that images are essential elements in our website, and they don't only add visual to our website, they are also used to communicate information. From the picture you can see on your screen, you can notice that IMG tags does not have closing tags, just like the HR tag and the BR tag. They are regarded as empty elements. They don't have closing tags. And so, as you can equally see on the screen, you will see that the IMG tag has so many attributes. They have so many attributes that can be attached to it. Number one is the SRC attribute, the source attribute. Number two is the alt attribute. The alt attribute displays when the image cannot display. The source attribute is for the path to the image. Now we also have number three, the width and the height. That's number three and four respectively. We all know what the width is all about, and the height of the image, the height that the image will take in our browser. And so I will simply go back to my root folder. You can see my root folder on this space, my website. My website was created on the first video in this HTML series, and that is why it is essential for you to ensure that you see that video. And now I quickly open my website. After I have opened it, I have my files, my 4 files, my 5 folders, the CSS, the images, the JavaScript folder, the sounds, and the videos. And now this is my indexed page, index file, which is like my home page. So I will right click on it and open with Notepad. I minimize, right click on it again, open with Google Chrome. All right. So here is my Notepad, and behind it is my Google Chrome. So this is the code. The last code that we did was on tables, HTML tables. That was the last class that we did before this particular class. And so I will quickly type the image img tag, img. IMG only has an opening tag, is an empty element. IMG tag does not have a closing tag. So right inside it, I will type src, the first attribute, src equal to double quote. I will also type alt equal to double quote. I'll give a space. I will also type width, width, to specify the width the image will occupy on the browser, equal to double quote. I'll give another space, height, height, equal to double quote. And now let me start from the height. I will assume that the height will be 200. I will assume that the width will be maybe 70%. And I will assume that the the image will determine the alt. Now I will assume that this is not an assumption. I will have to go to my root folder to check the source of my image. So where is my image? My image is located in the image folder. So when I double click on it, I will see my image is class and it is a PNG file. My image is class.png. So I would go back to my notepad and considering the path, this is my index file. Before I will have access to my image, I will have to go to the image folder, open the image folder and access my file. So because of that, I will have to come to this place and track the location of it, trace the location of it. Remember, I will have to open the images folder, IMAGES backslash. It means that I will have to open a folder before I will locate class.png. So the first thing I typed here was images with a backslash, indicating that that's a folder. I will have to go through a folder before I will locate the class.png. So that is tracing the path to where the picture is. Let's go back to it again. This is my index folder, and from my index file to access the class.png, I will have to go into these images, open it, and here is my class.png. So that is what I just represented here. I will have to enter into these images folder, and then from there I will see my class.png. And now because this picture is talking about web design class 1, 2, 3, so I will look for an alt message. I may decide to write class 1 to 3, class 1 to 3 link, class 1 to 3 link. Okay, I will put an underscore, class 1 to 3 link. And so I will save my work. This is the image empty tag. This is the source. This is the alt message. This is the width. And this is the height. This is the IMG empty tag. This is the source of the image. This is the alternative name in case the image refuses to display on the browser. The alt message will be displayed alternatively. And now this is the width, 70%. And now this is the height, 200. So I will click File and Save, head back to my browser and refresh. So I will scroll down. Oh, you can see the image is refusing to display. And that is why you can see the alt message, class 1, 2, 3. And now it is so good that the image is not displaying, so that we will see how the alt attribute works. You can see that the image is not displaying. The alt attribute has listed for us that there is a problem with this image displaying, but we will just give you the alt attribute. And now we go back to the notepad to try to fix it, to know why the image is not displaying. And right now at the we realize that the SCR is wrong. It should be SRC. So SRC, I will type it correctly, and our alt used to be class 1 to 3 link. So this is not, anything can be here. The alt can be anything. You can equally change it to simply class link or class underscore link, or link to class, whatever you want. You can put it anything you want. And now our width, we specified our width to be 70% and our height to be 200. So I click on file and click on save. I head back to the browser and I refresh. And once I refresh, you will see that the image has appeared, web design class 1 to 3. Now you will see that the image is occupying 70% of this screen, and it has a height of 200 pixels. Now before we continue, it is important that we talk about the image format. We have so many image formats, but there are popular ones like the JPG or JPEG, like the PNG and the GIF. The JPG or the JPEG is the Joint Photographic Experts Group. We have the PNG as the Portable Network Graphics, sorry, and also we have the GIF as the Graphics Interface Format. JPG images usually lose quality when they are compressed. Then the second option is PNG. The PNG are best suited for images with transparent backgrounds or with sharp edges, such as logos or graphics. They are noiseless images, which means they do not lose quality when they are compressed. And then the third image format is the GIF, the Graphics Interchange Format. They are most suitable for icons and buttons. They are used to create simple animations. So the JPG, the PNG, and the GIF are the most common image formats. There are so many other ones like the SVG and the WEBP. They all have their functions. And so quickly returning to our notepad, we can actually see that our image is class.png because PNG has better quality than JPG. JPG files are better used when you want to share pictures. They are better used for photographs, but PNG are better used for graphics. And we also need to talk about the paths, to the images. So we have two paths. It is either it is relative path or it is absolute path. So in our example, you can see that we traced a relative path. You enter the image folder and then you locate the image file. So this path is relative. But in case of a web server, if the image is located on a web server, then the path has to start with HTTPS colon double backslash and then the full URL of the website server. So when you talk about a relative path, it means that the image is often located inside your laptop, inside the root folder. When you talk about absolute path, it is usually that the image is located on a URL or a website. And so there are other attributes you can add to your image other than the source, the alt, the height, and the width. Other than this, you can add border and you can align your image left, right, or center. So I will quickly go back to my notepad and inside my image tag, I type border, BORDER, equal to, then a double quote. I can add border like maybe 10, and then I can align ALIGN. I can align double quote. Maybe I can align right, RIGHT. So I save my file, save. I return to my browser and I refresh. Right now you can see that I have a 10 pixel border around this image, and the image has also been aligned to the right. Also, in addition to the border and the align, we can also add a vertical space that's called a V space, or a horizontal space which is called a H space, as you can see on the screen. So I quickly go back to my notepad and right inside the image tag, I add the H space attribute. H space is equal to, I can add something like, okay, double quote, I can make it 100 or maybe 100. And then I save my work, file save, go back to my browser and I refresh. I will notice that I have a horizontal space because I floated to the right. So the horizontal space will come from the right. So I will also, let me make it 200 and see how it goes. File and save. Go back to my browser. I refresh. Oh, 200. 200. That's good. I can reduce it to 150 if I like. It depends on what you want to achieve. And then I refresh. When I refresh, it's almost at the middle. It's practically at the middle. And now I can also add a vertical space. A vertical space will create space from the top below. So I'll head back to my notepad, the tag, the attribute VSpace, VSPACE, equal to double quote. I will add maybe something like 80, and then I click file and save. File, save. I head back to my browser, I refresh, and then you will notice that a vertical space has been added to the top. So the space has to come from the top because automatically the image is pegged to the top of this particular space. And now one important factor to consider while placing our images on our website is responsiveness. This is because most of our web browsers or our web content are viewed on various devices. Most often, most of our web content are viewed on the phone, also on the tablet, and also on the PC. So we have to consider responsiveness of these images. Now, responsiveness is better treated with CSS, but for the sake of knowledge, we would have to consider talking about it in this HTML class. We prefer applying responsiveness through CSS. Now, you can also see from this picture that I'm about to display, you can see this is a picture. You can see the width of this picture is 1080. And now this same picture is also designed in another way. You can see this is 1080 by 1080, and also the same picture 1080 by 1350, and then the same picture 1200 width by 628 height. Now it's the same picture but used for in different platforms like Instagram feeds, like Facebook feeds, and the rest. So the same pictures are uploaded in our Facebook ads. In our Facebook ads, the four of them or the three of them are uploaded, and then it depends on where the advert is to run, so the pictures will automatically be responsive to that particular platform. So I will also show you a picture of uh I assume I called that picture ML, showing machine language, indicating machine language. Maybe I saved it as ml.jpg. So I open my img tag. You can see the src indicating that the name of that particular picture is ml.jpg. And now you can see the alt message. So in case the picture did not display, an alternate text will come out showing ML flyer, that's machine learning flyer. Now you can see the SR set for the first picture, that is 480 pixel wide. Now this is the ML. I named this particular picture ML-small. Then the same picture but different size of 800 pixel wide, and then ML large of 1200 pixel wide. And now the sizes attribute. Now we have two attributes here, src set attribute and the sizes attribute. Now the src set attribute helps us to input more than one pictures. Now the sizes attribute makes is to allocate sizes to different viewpoints. Now according to this instruction, according to this attribute, if the image is being viewed uh, in a viewpoint that is less than 400 pixel, the image will take 95% of that viewpoint. Now, if the image is being viewed on another device that has a viewpoint that is between 480 pixels and 800 pixels, the image will take 45% of that viewpoint. Now, if the image is being viewed by a viewpoint that is above 800 pixels, now the image will take 30% of that viewpoint. So, but just we have said these viewpoints really actually work with HTML, but they perform better with CSS. So we won't have to dwell on that because CSS makes responsiveness very, very better. And so this is the end of our IMG lessons today. In this video, we have talked about the IMG tag, that's the image tag, and we have talked about the various formats, image formats. We also talked about the relative part and the absolute part. We talked about the four common or basic attributes of IMG, which are the SRC attribute, the ALT attribute, the height attribute, and the width attribute. Now, in addition to these most common attributes or popular attributes, there are four other attributes that we also talked about. We talked about the border attribute, we talked about the align attribute, we talked about the SRO set attribute, and we talked about the sizes attribute. But we tried to emphasize that both the border attribute, the align attribute, the SRO set attribute, and the sizes attribute are better left to be done with CSS, because CSS encourages responsiveness more than it is being encouraged with HTML. So I thank you for your time listening to this video. I would advise you or implore you to subscribe to this channel. Click subscribe, and then you will have opportunities to enjoy the rest of this HTML series. Thank you very much. I am Reverend Dr. Namches. God bless you. Goodbye.